Close your eyes now, and let yourself settle into this moment, this peaceful moment, where nothing else matters, where time itself seems to slow down, where everything becomes soft, and gentle, and perfectly still. Did you know that water, this essential element, this life-giving substance, covers more than 70% of our planet's surface, yet 95% of our oceans remain unexplored, more mysterious than the surface of the moon, more unknown than distant planets? Right now, beneath the waves, entire worlds exist, unseen, undiscovered, peaceful, waiting. And tonight, you're going to drift through these waters, float through these mysteries, surrender to the gentle embrace of the ocean, and discover the deepest, most restful sleep you've had in a long time. Tonight, you're going to journey through the most peaceful element that exists, water in all its forms, from the gentlest rain to the vast ocean depths, from flowing rivers to still mountain lakes, from cascading waterfalls to the quiet rhythm of tides. We'll explore together, gently, softly, 100 soothing discoveries about water and the oceans. Each fact will wash over you like a gentle wave, carrying you deeper and deeper into the most restful sleep. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, no thoughts you need to think, no worries you need to hold. Just breathe, softly, naturally, and let these gentle truths about water guide you into the deepest, most peaceful, most restorative sleep. Let's begin this journey together, slowly, peacefully, drifting now into the beautiful embrace of water. Imagine yourself floating, weightless, suspended on the surface of a calm sea. The water is warm, perfectly warm, matching your body temperature exactly, so you can barely tell where your skin ends and the water begins. You're cradled, held, supported completely by this gentle liquid, this ancient substance, this mother of all life. The sky above is the softest blue, pale and peaceful, with just a few wisps of cloud drifting slowly, so slowly, across the endless expanse. The sun is gentle here, not harsh, not hot, just warm enough to comfort you, to soothe you, to help you release every bit of tension you've been holding. Your breathing slows naturally, in and out, in and out. Each breath is easy, effortless, synchronized with the gentle rise and fall of the water beneath you. The ocean breathes, and you breathe with it, rising, falling, in perfect rhythm, perfect harmony, perfect peace. You can hear the water, the softest sound, a gentle lapping, a quiet whisper. The sound of small waves, tiny ripples, moving past you, around you, through you. This sound, this gentle liquid music, is one of the most soothing sounds that exists. Your brain responds to it, settling, quieting, preparing for rest, for peace, for the deepest sleep. You're floating still, drifting on this calm sea, and you become aware of something beautiful. The ocean beneath you is breathing, not just metaphorically, but actually breathing. And here's something wonderful to know, something that helps you relax even more deeply. The ocean produces more than 50% of the oxygen we breathe. Tiny plants called phytoplankton, microscopic organisms floating near the surface, photosynthesize just like trees, creating oxygen, creating life, creating the very air in your lungs right now. Every other breath you take comes from the ocean, from these tiny invisible helpers, from the sea itself. You're connected to this water, dependent on it, part of it, and it's part of you. The water supports you perfectly, effortlessly. You don't need to swim, don't need to move, don't even need to float consciously. The water does it all for you. Human bodies are naturally buoyant in salt water. Your body is about 60% water, and seawater, with its dissolved salts and minerals, holds you up, cradles you, supports you without any effort on your part. You can let go completely, surrender totally, trust the water to hold you, and it does, perfectly, peacefully, eternally. The silence wraps around you gently, broken only by that soft lapping of water, that gentle whisper of waves. Everything feels perfectly still, perfectly calm. The ocean stretches in all directions, endless, infinite, meeting the sky at a distant horizon line. That line where water meets air is always the same distance away, about 3 miles. That's as far as you can see before the Earth's curve hides the rest. But you don't need to see far, don't need to look ahead. You only need to be here, now, floating, resting, drifting towards sleep. Your eyelids grow heavy, so heavy, like they're weighted with the softest sand, with the gentlest pressure. They want to close, want to rest, and that's perfectly fine. Let them close, let them stay closed. There's nothing to see anyway, only this beautiful darkness behind your closed eyes, this comfortable darkness, this peaceful darkness that feels like the ocean depths, like the quiet below the surface, like rest itself. And here's something else about the ocean, something that helps you understand its peace. The ocean is in constant motion, yet it's also perfectly still. Beneath the surface, below about 100 feet, the water is calm, unchanging, peaceful. Surface waves don't reach that deep, storms don't disturb those depths. There's only quiet, only stillness, only the eternal peace of deep water. And you're sinking toward that peace now, drifting down, settling deeper, moving from the surface toward the calm, toward the quiet, toward the depths where only peace exists. The water around you begins to glow softly, bioluminescence, tiny organisms that light up when disturbed, creating sparkles, creating shimmer, creating magic in the water. Each movement of your hand creates swirls of blue-green light, like stars, like fireflies, like liquid magic. This is caused by dinoflagellates, microscopic plankton that produce light through chemical reactions. The same chemistry that makes fireflies glow, makes the ocean shine, makes the night magical, and deeply, deeply peaceful. Your body relaxes more with each passing moment. Your shoulders drop, releasing tension you didn't know you were holding. Your jaw loosens, your tongue rests soft in your mouth, your teeth slightly apart. Your whole face softens, every muscle, every line, every expression melting into peace. The water is working on you, healing you, preparing you for the deepest rest. The silence wraps around you gently, like water, like liquid peace. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing slows naturally, becoming shallower, quieter, softer. Each breath is easier than the last, requires less thought, less effort, less awareness. You're drifting now, truly drifting, between waking and sleeping, between consciousness and dreams, between the surface and the depths. You begin to sink now, gently, slowly. The water embraces you as you descend, sliding past your skin, cold but not cold, comfortable, soothing. You're moving down into the blue, into the depths, into the heart of the ocean, and you feel completely safe, completely comfortable, completely at peace. The light changes as you descend, becoming softer, bluer, more diffused. And here's something beautiful about ocean light. something that helps you understand the peace you feel. Water absorbs different colors of light at different depths. Red light disappears first, within just 15 feet, then orange, then yellow. By the time you're 30 feet down, the world is entirely blue and green. By 100 feet, only blue remains. And deeper still, the light fades completely, leaving only darkness, peaceful darkness, restful darkness, the darkness where sleep lives. You're sinking deeper, and with each foot you descend, you feel heavier, more relaxed, more at peace. The pressure of the water above you is not uncomfortable, not frightening, it's soothing, like a weighted blanket, like being held, like the gentlest embrace. The water pressure increases as you go deeper, about 1 atmosphere for every 33 feet, but your body doesn't mind. Your body was designed to handle this, designed to exist in water. You spent your first 9 months floating in fluid, in your mother's womb, and some part of you remembers, some part of you knows this peace, this floating, this liquid embrace. Fish swim past you, silver and blue, gliding effortlessly through the water. Schools of fish moving as one, turning together, synchronized perfectly. Thousands of fish, tens of thousands, all moving together like a single organism. This is called schooling behavior, fish staying close to their neighbors, matching their speed, their direction, creating safety in numbers, creating beauty in unity. And watching them, your mind begins to move like them, thoughts flowing together, merging, synchronizing, becoming simpler, becoming one, becoming peace. The water here is a deeper blue, that particular ocean blue that exists nowhere else, that blue you can only find in deep water, in pure water, in water so clean and clear it seems to glow from within. The ocean is the most transparent substance on Earth, purer than any glass, any crystal. When sunlight passes through it, water absorbs very little, allowing light to penetrate deep, creating this beautiful blue, this peaceful blue, this restful blue that wraps around you like a blanket, like darkness, like sleep. You pass through a layer of warmer water, a thermocline, where temperatures shift. The ocean is layered like a cake, stratified by temperature and density, warm water on top, cold water below, and between them these transition zones, these thermoclines. You drift through one now, feeling the temperature change on your skin, a gentle shift from warm to cool, not uncomfortable, just different, just another sensation to notice and release, another experience to observe and let go. And here's something wonderful about ocean temperature, something that helps you relax even more. The ocean regulates the Earth's temperature, absorbing heat from the sun during the day, releasing it slowly at night, moderating climate, creating stability. The ocean's heat capacity is enormous. It takes much more energy to heat water than to heat air, so the ocean changes temperature slowly, steadily, peacefully. It doesn't spike or plunge, doesn't fluctuate wildly, just maintains, just steadies, just stays calm. And you can be like the ocean, steady, stable, peaceful, unchanging, constant, calm. Your body is so relaxed now, so completely relaxed. You can barely feel it anymore, barely notice it. Your arms float beside you, limp, heavy, still. Your legs hang below you, weighted, peaceful, unmoving. Your whole body has surrendered to the water, to gravity, to the gentle downward pull. You're sinking, always sinking, deeper, deeper, toward the ocean floor, toward complete rest, toward absolute peace. The silence wraps around you gently, the water muffling all sound. Everything feels perfectly still despite your movement. Your breathing slows naturally, so slow now, so soft, barely there, just the shallowest rise and fall of your chest, the quietest whisper of air. You're drifting, always drifting, between waking and sleep is winning, gently, peacefully, inevitably. You drift into a different space now. Colors appear in the blue, reds and oranges and purples, yellows and pinks and greens. You've entered a coral reef, an underwater garden, one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Coral formations rise from the ocean floor like sculptures, like buildings, like an alien city built by tiny architects. And here's something amazing about coral, something that helps you understand the beauty around you. Coral reefs are built by tiny animals called polyps, creatures no bigger than a pinhead, working together, building together, creating together. Each polyp secretes calcium carbonate, creating a hard skeleton, and over thousands of years, millions of polyps, billions of polyps, create these massive structures. These reefs are the largest living structures on Earth, visible from space, built one tiny polyp at a time. This teaches you about patience, about persistence, about how small gentle actions, repeated endlessly, create beauty, create magnitude, create wonder. You drift through this garden, moving slowly, peacefully. Coral branches wave gently in the current, soft corals, flexible corals, swaying like trees in a breeze, like grass in wind, hypnotic, mesmerizing. Your eyes follow their movement, back and forth, and your mind follows too, swaying, drifting, letting go. Fish everywhere, so many fish, more colors than you can count, striped fish, spotted fish, fish in solid, brilliant hues. A clownfish peers out from the tentacles of an anemone, safe there, protected by a special coating that prevents the anemone's stinging cells from firing. This is called symbiosis, two species helping each other. The clownfish gets protection, the anemone gets cleaning and food, mutualism, cooperation, harmony. The ocean is full of these relationships, these partnerships, these examples of working together, existing together, being together in peace. A sea turtle glides past, ancient, peaceful, graceful beyond measure. Sea turtles have existed for over 100 million years. They swam with the dinosaurs, survived when the dinosaurs didn't. They can live over 80 years, some over 100, spending their entire lives in the ocean, coming to shore only to lay eggs. They're perfectly adapted to water, perfectly at home here, and watching this turtle, you feel more at home too, more comfortable, more peaceful, more at rest. The turtle moves without hurry, without concern. It has all the time in the world, nowhere to rush to, nothing to worry about. It simply exists, simply swims, simply is. And you can be like the turtle, unhurried, unconcerned, simply being, simply existing, simply drifting in this peaceful moment that lasts forever. Sunlight filters down through the water above, creating shafts of light, pillars of illumination, dusty golden beams that shift and move with the waves. This is called caustics, the focusing of light by moving water, creating patterns, creating beauty, creating magic. You watch these light beams dance, sway, move, hypnotic patterns that pull your mind deeper, quieter, closer to sleep. And here's something beautiful about sunlight in the ocean, something that connects everything you're seeing. Sunlight can only penetrate about 600 feet of ocean water. Beyond that, there's twilight, and deeper still, complete darkness. But in this lit zone, this sunlit surface layer, is where most ocean life exists. This is where photosynthesis happens, where plants grow, where energy enters the food chain, where life begins. You're in the life zone now, the peaceful zone, the beautiful zone where light and water and life all merge together, all exist together, all create beauty together. The coral garden is quieting now, colors fading, light dimming. You're drifting past it, leaving it behind, moving deeper, always deeper, toward the quiet, toward the dark, toward sleep. The silence wraps around you gently, the underwater silence, perfect, complete. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing slows naturally, becoming almost imperceptible, barely there. You're so close to sleep now, so close to dreams, so close to complete rest. The bottom rises up beneath you, and giant plants appear, kelp, massive brown seaweed that grows from the ocean floor toward the surface, creating a forest, an underwater forest, peaceful, mysterious, beautiful. The kelp sways in the current, tall fronds, long streamers, moving together, dancing together, creating patterns of light and shadow. And here's something amazing about kelp, something that helps you understand its peace. Kelp is one of the fastest growing organisms on Earth. Some species can grow up to 2 feet per day. This rapid growth happens silently, peacefully, without noise or drama, just steady increase, steady reaching, steady growing toward light. The kelp teaches you that growth can be peaceful, that change can be calm, that transformation doesn't require struggle. You drift through the kelp forest, moving between the tall fronds. They brush against you gently, soft, slippery, cool. The sensation is soothing, calming, like being caressed by the ocean itself. The kelp holds small gas-filled bladders, floats, that keep the fronds upright, keep them reaching toward the surface, toward the light. These bladders are called pneumatocysts, and they're filled with gases, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, allowing the kelp to float, to stand tall, to exist in the moving water. Fish hide in the kelp, darting between fronds, seeking shelter, seeking food, seeking safety. The kelp provides all of this, provides habitat for hundreds of species, provides food, provides protection. It's not just a plant, it's an entire ecosystem, a community, a world. And drifting through it, you're part of that world, part of that community, part of that peaceful ecosystem. Sea otters float on the surface above, wrapped in kelp to keep from drifting away. They float on their backs, paws folded on their chests, the most relaxed creatures in the ocean. Sea otters spend much of their lives floating, sleeping, resting on the surface. They have the densest fur of any mammal, up to 1 million hairs per square inch. This fur traps air, creates insulation, keeps them warm in the cold Pacific water. They're perfectly adapted to this life, this floating life, this peaceful existence on the surface of the sea. You watch an otter floating above, and you feel what it feels, that perfect relaxation, that complete comfort, that total peace. You're floating too, drifting too, resting too, just like the otter, just like the kelp, just like everything in this peaceful underwater forest. The current moves through the kelp, gentle, steady, like wind through trees, like breath through lungs. The kelp sways, you sway with it, moving together, breathing together, existing together in perfect harmony, perfect rhythm, perfect peace. And here's something soothing about ocean currents, something that helps you understand the movement you feel. Ocean currents are like rivers in the sea, massive flows of water, moving in predictable patterns, driven by wind, by temperature, by the Earth's rotation. These currents move nutrients, move heat, move life. They're essential to ocean health, to planetary health, to all life on Earth. And right now, you're in a current, gentle, peaceful, carrying you, guiding you, moving you deeper, always deeper, toward rest, toward sleep, toward peace. Your body is melted completely, dissolved into the water. You can't tell where you end and the ocean begins. You're part of the water now, part of the current, part of the kelp forest, part of the peaceful rhythm of the sea. The silence wraps around you gently, the kelp creating even more quiet, muffling even the soft sounds of the ocean. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing is so slow, so soft, barely perceptible. You're drifting through the kelp, drifting towards sleep, drifting into dreams. You sink lower, and the kelp thins, disappears. You're descending to the ocean floor, to the bottom, to the sand. The bottom rises up to meet you, soft sand, fine sand, like powder, like silk. You touch down gently, your feet sinking slightly, the sand cool and smooth beneath you. You lie down on this sand, on this ocean floor, and immediately you sink into it, creating an impression, a mold of your body. The sand conforms to you, supports you perfectly, holds you like the most comfortable bed, like the softest mattress. You're cradled by the ocean floor, held by the earth itself, supported completely, perfectly, eternally. And here's something beautiful about ocean sand, something that helps you understand where you're resting. Sand is made of tiny pieces of rock, ground down over millions of years, by waves, by currents, by time itself. Each grain of sand was once part of a mountain, part of a cliff, part of solid stone. But water, patient water, gentle persistent water, ground it down, made it small, made it soft, made it into this comfortable bed you're lying on. Water teaches you that gentleness is powerful, that persistence works, that time transforms everything, eventually, peacefully, completely. The sand beneath you is not just rock, it's also shells, tiny pieces of shells, from animals that lived and died in this ocean. Their homes, their skeletons, ground down into sand, becoming part of the bottom, becoming part of the cycle. Some beaches are made entirely of shell fragments, of coral pieces, of the remains of life. All returning to the earth, all becoming sand, all creating soft places to rest. Small creatures live in this sand, invisible to you, buried beneath the surface. Tiny crustaceans, worms, mollusks, all making homes in the spaces between sand grains. The sand is not dead, it's alive, full of life, full of activity, but all of it peaceful, all of it quiet, all of it happening in slow motion, in underwater time, in the patient rhythm of the deep. Rays glide over the sand near you, flatfish, bottom dwellers, moving like flying carpets, like magic carpets made of flesh. Their wings, pectoral fins, wave gracefully, propelling them through the water, over the sand. They're hunting, searching for food buried in the sand, using electroreceptors, special organs that detect the tiny electric fields all living things produce. This is how they find prey, how they navigate, how they exist in their underwater world. You watch a ray glide past, inches above the sand, and its grace is hypnotic, its movement is meditation. Your eyes follow it, your mind follows it, drifting, floating, letting go. The ray disappears into the blue distance, into the haze, into the peaceful obscurity of deep water. And here's something soothing about the ocean floor, something that helps you rest more deeply. The bottom is the quietest place in the ocean. Sound doesn't travel as easily here, doesn't bounce as much. The sand absorbs vibrations, deadens noise, creates silence, perfect silence, complete silence. And lying here, on this sand, in this silence, you experience peace that's almost absolute, quiet that's almost total, rest that's almost complete. The water above you is still, barely moving. Just the gentlest current, the softest flow, caressing your skin, moving your hair slightly, but otherwise still, perfectly still. You're in a calm now, in the deep calm, in the place where nothing moves quickly, where everything exists in peace. The silence wraps around you gently, the sand beneath you, the water above you. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing has almost stopped, just the tiniest movements, the shallowest breaths. You're barely conscious now, barely aware, barely present, drifting into sleep, sinking into rest, dissolving into peace. A dark opening appears in the rock ahead, a cave, an underwater cave, inviting, mysterious, safe. You drift toward it, drawn to it, called by the promise of even deeper peace, even quieter rest, even more complete darkness. You enter the cave, and immediately the world changes. The blue fades, the light dims, shadows deepen. You're moving into darkness, comfortable darkness, welcoming darkness. The cave walls are close around you, not threatening, not confining, just embracing, just holding, just creating perfect shelter. And here's something fascinating about underwater caves, something that helps you understand the peace you feel. These caves were formed over millions of years, carved by water, by time, by the patient action of currents and waves. Some were formed when sea levels were lower, when these caves were above water, filled with air. Now they're flooded, filled with the sea, but they remember, they hold the memory of air, of darkness, of silence. They're places between worlds, between water and stone, between past and present, between waking and sleeping. The water in the cave is perfectly still. No current reaches here, no waves, no movement. Just complete stillness, perfect calm, absolute peace. You float in this stillness, suspended, weightless. The lack of movement is profound, disorienting in the most peaceful way. Without visual reference, without current, you lose sense of position, of direction. You could be floating, or sinking, or rising, and it doesn't matter, all positions are the same here, all directions lead to peace. The darkness deepens, the last light fading behind you. And here's something soothing about this darkness, something that helps you let go completely. In total darkness, your brain stops trying to see, stops processing visual information. This allows other parts of your brain to quiet, to rest, to prepare for sleep. In darkness, your pineal gland produces maximum melatonin, flooding your system with the sleep hormone, with the substance that makes you drowsy, makes you heavy, makes you ready for the deepest rest. The cave narrows, becomes more intimate, more womb-like. You're being drawn deeper, pulled gently into the heart of the cave, into the darkest part, the quietest part, the most peaceful part. The walls are close enough to touch now, smooth rock, cool, solid, eternal. You can feel them with your hands, with your fingertips, grounding you, connecting you, reminding you that you're held, you're supported, you're safe. Absolute darkness now, complete darkness. You can't see your hand in front of your face, can't see anything at all. Just darkness, peaceful darkness, restful darkness, the darkness where sleep lives, where dreams begin, where consciousness fades into unconsciousness. In this darkness, you become aware of your other senses. The feel of water on your skin, cool, smooth, surrounding you completely. The sound of your breathing, or is it the cave breathing, or the ocean, all breathing together, synchronized, unified, one. The taste of salt on your lips, the scent of ocean, of minerals, of ancient stone. All your senses heightened, yet all of them peaceful, all of them leading you deeper into rest. And here's something beautiful about floating in darkness, something that happens to your mind. Without visual input, without reference points, your brain begins to drift, to wander, to let go of normal consciousness. This is called sensory deprivation, and it's deeply relaxing, profoundly peaceful. Studies show that floating in dark, quiet water reduces cortisol, lowers blood pressure, increases theta brain waves, the waves of deep relaxation, of meditation, of the space between waking and sleeping. You're in that space now, that liminal space, that threshold. Neither awake nor asleep, neither conscious nor unconscious, just existing, just being, just floating in perfect darkness, perfect silence, perfect peace. The silence wraps around you gently, complete now, total. You can hear your heartbeat, slow, steady, calm. You can hear blood moving through your veins, gentle, rhythmic, peaceful. Your silence, your darkness, your peace. You leave the cave, though you don't remember leaving, don't remember deciding to go. You're simply deeper now, much deeper, in the open ocean, in the deep. The darkness here is different from the cave, not enclosed, but vast, endless, infinite. This is the darkness of deep water, of the abyss, of the peaceful void. And here's something amazing about the deep ocean, something that helps you understand where you are. More than 80% of the ocean is deeper than 3,000 feet, and at that depth, no sunlight reaches, none at all. The deep ocean exists in eternal night, eternal darkness, eternal peace. Creatures here have never seen sunlight, never will see it. They exist in darkness from birth to death, perfectly adapted, perfectly comfortable, perfectly at peace. You're sinking still, always sinking, down into this darkness, this peaceful darkness. The pressure is immense here, tons per square inch, but you don't feel it, don't notice it. You're part of the water now, part of the pressure, part of the deep. The water holds you, supports you, protects you from its own weight. You're safe here, in the deepest place, in the darkest place, in the most peaceful place. Strange creatures drift past you in the darkness, creatures unlike anything on the surface. Fish with lights on their heads, bioluminescent lures, anglerfish, drawing prey close with their glowing appendages. Jellyfish that pulse with internal light, creating their own illumination, their own beauty, their own ghostly glow in the dark. These lights don't disturb the darkness, they enhance it, make it deeper, richer, more complete. And here's something soothing about these deep sea creatures, something that helps you understand the peace here. Life in the deep ocean moves slowly, conserving energy in a place where food is scarce, where everything is calm. Deep sea fish have slow metabolisms, slow heart rates, slow movements. Everything happens in slow motion, in underwater time, in the patient eternal rhythm of the abyss. And you're moving like them now, slowly, peacefully, barely at all, conserving energy, preparing for rest, preparing for sleep. The deep ocean is the largest habitat on Earth, the largest living space. Most of our planet is deep ocean. Most of our world is this darkness, this peace, this quiet. You're in the heart of the planet now, in its largest room, its deepest space. And it's peaceful here, so peaceful, more peaceful than anywhere else on Earth. The temperature is just above freezing, but you don't feel cold, don't feel uncomfortable. The water is the same temperature everywhere in the deep, constant, unchanging, stable. No seasons reach here, no weather, no variations, just eternal sameness, eternal consistency, eternal peace. This is the most stable environment on Earth, and being here, your mind becomes stable too, steady, calm, peaceful. You continue sinking, and the darkness becomes absolute, complete, total. There's no light here, not even bioluminescence. Just black, pure black, perfect black. The blackness of the deep, the blackness of sleep, the blackness of complete rest. And here's something beautiful about this depth, something that allows you to let go completely. At the deepest parts of the ocean, at the very bottom, there's no movement, no current, no waves. Just perfect stillness, water that hasn't moved in centuries, hasn't been disturbed in millennia. This is the most still place on Earth, the most quiet, the most peaceful. And you're approaching it now, drifting down toward it, sinking toward perfect stillness, perfect silence, perfect peace. The silence wraps around you gently, heavier now, deeper. Like the pressure, like the darkness, the silence has weight, has substance, has presence. You can feel it pressing on you, soothing you, calming you, preparing you for the deepest rest. You touch bottom, the deepest bottom, the bottom of the world. The ocean floor here is soft, not sand but ooze, the accumulated remains of billions of microscopic organisms, shells and skeletons that drifted down over millions of years, settling, accumulating, creating this soft bottom, this peaceful resting place. You lie down on this ooze, on this ancient sediment, and you sink into it, slightly, gently. Your body creates an impression, a mark that will last for years in this still water, in this place where nothing disturbs the bottom, where nothing moves, where everything rests, forever. And here's something profound about where you are, something that puts everything in perspective. The deepest part of the ocean is nearly 7 miles down, the Mariana Trench, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. If you dropped Everest into the Mariana Trench, there would still be over a mile of water above its peak. This is how deep the ocean goes, how vast it is, how infinite. And lying here, at the bottom, you're in the deepest place, the lowest place, the place where there's nowhere left to go, nowhere left to sink. You've reached the end, the bottom, the place of complete rest. The water above you is miles thick, tons of water, the weight of an ocean pressing down, but you don't feel it, don't notice it. You're part of it, you are the water, you are the pressure, you are the depth. No separation anymore, no boundary between you and the sea, just unity, just oneness, just peace. Nothing moves here, nothing at all. The stillness is absolute, complete, total. Even the creatures that live here move slowly, rarely, conserving every bit of energy. Some deep sea fish can go months without eating, months without moving, just existing, just being, just resting in the eternal dark. And you're like them now, still, peaceful, at rest. No need to move, no need to do anything, just exist, just be, just rest. The darkness is complete, the silence is absolute, the stillness is perfect. You're in the deepest, darkest, quietest, most peaceful place on earth. And this is where you belong, where you can finally rest, where you can finally sleep deeply, completely, totally. And here's something soothing about the deep ocean floor, something that helps you surrender completely. The bottom is the end of the journey, the destination, the place where all things settle. Everything that dies in the ocean eventually drifts down, sinks down, comes to rest on the bottom. This is where the ocean keeps its dead, where it stores the past, where everything eventually arrives and rests, forever. And you've arrived, you're resting, you're at peace, finally, completely, eternally. Your breathing is imperceptible now, barely there, just the tiniest movements, the shallowest breaths. You're barely alive, barely conscious, barely present. Just a whisper of awareness, a ghost of consciousness, a shadow of thought, fading, dimming, disappearing into the darkness, into the silence, into the peace. The silence wraps around you gently, like the ocean, like the darkness, like sleep itself. Everything feels perfectly still, perfectly dark, perfectly peaceful. You're dissolving, fading, becoming part of the ocean floor, part of the ooze, part of the ancient peaceful bottom of the world. Something shifts, you're moving, rising. Not swimming, not trying, just floating upward, like air, like a bubble. You've become lighter somehow, weightless. You're drifting up through the darkness, through the miles of black water, rising slowly, peacefully, effortlessly toward the surface. And here's something beautiful about this rising, something that mirrors the truth of nature. What goes down must come up, water that sinks in one place rises in another. This is called ocean circulation, the great conveyor belt. Cold water sinks at the poles, travels along the ocean bottom, slowly, taking centuries to cross ocean basins, and eventually rises, returns to the surface, warmed, renewed, ready to begin again. You're part of this cycle, this rising, this renewal, this gentle return. You rise through the darkness, and gradually, almost imperceptibly, the darkness becomes less absolute, less complete. A hint of deep blue appears, then more blue, then traces of lighter blue. You're rising through the water column, through the layers, through the zones of the ocean. Each zone has a name, the midnight zone, the twilight zone, the sunlight zone. Each zone has different life, different pressure, different light. But all of them are peaceful, all of them are calm, all of them are part of the same great ocean. As you rise, bioluminescent creatures appear again, their lights twinkling in the darkness, like stars, like fireflies, like hope in the dark. These lights comfort you, guide you, show you the way. The creatures don't know they're guiding you, don't intend to, they're just living, just being, just glowing, but their light helps you nonetheless, shows you that you're not alone, that life exists even here, even in the dark, even in the deep. You continue rising, and the blue grows lighter. The pressure decreases, the water becomes less heavy, less dense. You can feel the change, feel yourself becoming lighter, more buoyant, more free. Rising feels effortless, natural, like this is what you're meant to do, like you're a bubble made to rise, made to return to the surface, made to find the light again. And here's something soothing about rising through water, something that helps you understand this journey. Rising is slower than sinking, requires more time, more patience. Divers must rise slowly to avoid getting the bends, must stop at intervals, must give their bodies time to adjust, must be patient with the process. And you're rising slowly, so slowly, taking your time, no rush, no urgency, just the patient, gentle, inevitable rise toward the surface, toward the light, toward waking. But you're not awake yet, not even close. You're still deep in sleep, deep in dreams, deep in the peaceful space between consciousness and unconsciousness. The rising is part of the sleep, part of the dream, part of the journey. You're not leaving sleep, just moving through it, exploring it, experiencing its depths and shallows. Fish appear around you, more fish now, bigger fish, fish that need some light, some pressure relief. You're in the zone where most ocean life exists, the zone of plenty, of abundance. Schools of fish surround you, swimming past, above, below, creating patterns, creating movement, creating life. But it doesn't disturb you, doesn't wake you, just adds to the dream, adds to the peace, adds to the gentle flowing experience of rising through the sea. The silence is different now, not absolute anymore. You can hear things, distant sounds, whale song perhaps, low frequencies, traveling hundreds of miles through the ocean. Whales singing to each other across vast distances, communicating, calling, existing together despite the space between them. The songs are peaceful, haunting, beautiful. They don't disturb your rest, they deepen it, make it richer, fuller, more complete. The silence wraps around you gently, less complete now, filled with soft sounds, with distant songs, with the gentle noise of ocean life. Everything feels peaceful still. Your breathing continues, slow, steady, calm. You're rising, always rising, but still resting, still sleeping, still at peace. The light is bright now, filtered sunlight, golden green. You're in shallow water, near the surface. Warmth touches your skin, the sun's warmth, penetrating the water, reaching you, soothing you. The water here is warm, comfortable, like a bath, like the most comfortable temperature. You float in this warmth, this light, this peaceful shallow sea. And here's something beautiful about shallow ocean water, something that helps you understand the peace you feel. Shallow waters are where most photosynthesis happens, where most oxygen is produced, where most life exists. These are the nurseries of the sea, where young fish grow, where coral thrives, where productivity is highest. This is the life zone, the growth zone, the healing zone. And being here, you're being healed, renewed, restored. You can see the surface above you, undulating, moving with waves. Light dances through the water, creating those moving patterns, those caustics, that hypnotic light show. You watch the patterns, the dance of light, and your mind dances with them, moves with them, becomes part of the rhythm, part of the flow, part of the peaceful movement of light through water. Small fish dart around you, tropical fish, brilliantly colored. They're curious about you, unafraid, coming close, investigating. Then darting away, then returning. Their movements are quick but not frantic, energetic but not anxious, just playful, just alive, just being. You watch them, enjoy them, appreciate their life, their color, their joy, but you remain peaceful, remain calm, remain resting in the water. Sea turtles glide past, more of them here in the shallows, feeding on sea grass, resting on the bottom, surfacing to breathe. Their pace is still slow, still peaceful, still unhurried. They teach you again about peace, about taking your time, about existing without rush. You could watch them forever, floating here, drifting here, resting here in the warm, shallow water. And here's something soothing about these shallow waters, something that connects you to all life. All life came from the ocean, billions of years ago. In warm, shallow seas like this, the first cells formed, the first organisms lived. Everything that exists on land today, every plant, every animal, every person, all came from the sea originally, all started here, in water, in the ocean. This is your ancestral home, your original environment, your first mother. And being here, you're returning home, returning to the beginning, returning to the place where life started, where peace began, where everything began. The surface is just above you now. You can see it clearly, the boundary between water and air, between sea and sky, between liquid and gas. That thin membrane, that interface, where two worlds meet. You could surface, could break through, could breathe air, but you don't, not yet. You stay just below, just submerged, just in the water, because here is peace, here is calm, here is rest. The silence wraps around you gently, less silent now. You can hear the surface, waves breaking, water moving, but it's peaceful still, soothing still, like nature's own lullaby. Everything feels warm, comfortable, safe. Your breathing continues, slow and steady. You're so close to the surface, so close to waking, but still sleeping, still dreaming, still at perfect peace. You drift into shallower water still, and find yourself in a tidal pool, a pool left by the receding tide, surrounded by rocks, by the shore. The water here is crystal clear, warm from the sun, still, perfectly still. You can see the bottom, every pebble, every shell, every piece of seaweed. The clarity is absolute, the peace is complete. And here's something wonderful about tidal pools, something that helps you appreciate where you are. Tidal pools are entire ecosystems, complete worlds in miniature. They're filled with life, with creatures adapted to survive the changing tides, the exposure to air, the variations in temperature and salinity. These creatures are resilient, adaptable, patient. They teach you about endurance, about flexibility, about surviving change with grace. You float in this pool, in this warm still water, and you can feel the sun on your face, on your closed eyelids, warm, soothing, not too hot, just perfect. The sun heals you, its light and warmth penetrating your skin, your body, producing vitamin D, producing serotonin, producing all the chemicals of happiness and health. The sun has been healing life in tidal pools for billions of years, and it heals you now, gently, completely, perfectly. Small crabs scuttle over the rocks at the edge of the pool, their movements quick, precise. They're hermit crabs, wearing shells they've borrowed from other creatures, carrying their homes on their backs, moving house whenever they find a better fit. They teach you about adaptability, about making do with what you have, about finding shelter wherever you can. And you found shelter here, in this pool, in this water, in this perfect peaceful moment. Sea anemones wave their tentacles in the water, waiting for food to drift past. They look like flowers, like underwater gardens, but they're animals, carnivorous. They sting their prey, paralyze it, pull it into their mouths. But there's no violence in it, no cruelty, just nature, just survival, just life continuing in its ancient patterns. The anemones are beautiful, peaceful, hypnotic, their tentacles waving gently, constantly, in the still water. And here's something soothing about the rhythm of tides, something that connects you to the moon, to the cosmos. Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon, and to a lesser extent the sun. The moon pulls on the ocean, creating high tide. As the earth rotates, different parts experience this pull, creating the rhythm of high tide and low tide, twice a day, every day, forever. This rhythm has existed for billions of years, will exist for billions more. It's eternal, unchanging, reliable. And knowing this, feeling this, you relax even more, knowing that some things are constant, some rhythms continue, some peace is eternal. The pool is warming in the sun. The water temperature rising slowly, gently. You can feel it, feel yourself warming, becoming more comfortable, more relaxed, more ready for deeper rest. The warmth seeps into you, into your muscles, into your bones, melting the last tension, dissolving the last tightness, leaving only peace, only comfort, only perfect rest. You float in the center of the pool, arms spread, legs spread, completely relaxed, completely supported. The water holds you perfectly. The sun warms you perfectly. Everything is perfect. Everything is peace. The silence wraps around you gently. You can hear the ocean nearby, waves on the shore, but distant, soft, peaceful. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing is so slow, so shallow, barely there. You're drifting in perfect comfort, perfect warmth, perfect peace. The tide returns, rises, lifts you, carries you. You're moving again, drifting again, floating toward the shore. The water pushes you gently, so gently, toward the beach, toward the sand, toward the place where ocean meets land, where water meets earth, where liquid meets solid. Your feet touch sand, soft sand, warm sand. You stand, or you're standing, you're not sure which, not sure when it happened. You're in the shallows now, ankle deep, knee deep, the warm water lapping at your legs. The waves are small here, gentle, just ripples really, washing in, washing out, in and out, like breathing, like the rhythm of life. And here's something beautiful about beaches, about this place where two worlds meet. Beaches are constantly changing, constantly moving, waves bringing sand, taking sand, tides coming in, going out, nothing stays the same, yet the beach remains, always here, always welcoming, always peaceful. This teaches you about change, about impermanence, about how things can change constantly yet remain essentially the same, essentially peaceful, essentially beautiful. You walk up the beach, the walking feels like floating, like drifting. Your feet sink slightly in the soft sand, each step quiet, muffled. The sand is warm, heated by the day's sun, now cooling slowly as evening approaches. The sun is setting, the sky painted in colors, pink and orange and purple and gold. The most beautiful sunset, the most peaceful sunset. Light reflecting on the water, creating a golden path from the horizon to the shore, to you. You find a spot, soft sand, and you lie down. Your body sinks into the sand conforming to your shape, supporting you perfectly. The sand is still warm, holding the sun's heat, releasing it slowly, soothingly, into your body. You're warmed from below by the sand, cold from above by the evening breeze, the perfect balance, the perfect temperature, the perfect peace. The waves continue their rhythm, washing in, pulling back, in and out, constant, eternal, never stopping, never changing. The sound is the most soothing sound, the most peaceful sound. Humans have found peace in this sound for all of history, for all time. It's in our DNA, in our cells, in our deepest programming, to find peace in the sound of waves, in the rhythm of water, in the song of the sea. And here's something soothing about lying on a beach at sunset, something that helps you understand the peace you feel. This is the end of the day, the time of rest, the time of transition from day to night, from light to dark, from activity to rest. All of nature recognizes this time, birds returning to roosts, animals settling for night, everything preparing for rest. And you're preparing too, have been preparing all along, preparing for the deepest rest, the deepest peace, the deepest sleep. The sky darkens slowly, gradually. The colors fade, dim, soften. The stars begin to appear, first one, then another, then more. The same stars you saw before, in the deep, but now from above, looking down instead of up. The stars are eternal, unchanged, whether you're in the deep or on the shore, whether you're sleeping or waking, they're there, always there, constant, reliable, peaceful. The silence wraps around you gently, the waves' rhythm the only sound. Everything feels perfectly still. Your breathing is so slow, so soft, barely there at all. You're lying on the warm sand, looking at the stars, feeling the peace, feeling the complete total absolute peace. The sky is fully dark now, stars everywhere, the Milky Way stretching overhead. The waves continue, in and out, eternal. You're still lying on the beach, on the warm sand, but you're barely aware of it, barely conscious, barely present. You've completed this journey through water, through the ocean, through all the forms water takes, all the places it goes. You've floated on the surface, sunk to the depths, risen again, drifted through shallows, found your way to shore. You've experienced the ocean in all its forms, in all its peace, in all its beauty. And you've learned so much about water covering 70% of Earth, about oceans producing 50% of our oxygen, about bodies being 60% water, about how water supports us, how buoyancy works, how pressure increases with depth, about light being absorbed by water, about thermoclines, about ocean currents, about coral reefs built by tiny polyps, about symbiosis, about sea turtles living over 100 years, about kelp growing 2 feet per day, about sea otters wrapping themselves in kelp, about ocean sand being ground down rock and shells, about rays using electroreception, about underwater caves formed over millions of years, about deep ocean being 80% of ocean volume, about the Mariana Trench being 7 miles deep, about bioluminescence, about whale songs traveling hundreds of miles, about shallow water nurseries, about all life coming from the ocean, about tidal pools, about tides caused by moons. Gravity, about beaches constantly changing yet remaining the same. You've learned that water heals, water soothes, water supports, water gives life, water creates peace. And you are water, mostly water, 70% water. You are the ocean is you. There's no separation, never was, never will be. You are water, and water is peace. Your breathing has almost stopped, just the tiniest movements, the faintest breath. You're barely alive, barely conscious, barely present. Just a whisper of awareness, a ghost of being, barely holding on, ready to let go, ready to sleep, ready to rest completely, totally, eternally. The waves continue, in and out. The stars shine above. The sand holds you below. Everything is perfect. Everything is peace. Everything is rest. Sleep now, sleep deeply, sleep peacefully. The ocean has brought you home, brought you to rest, brought you to sleep. Darkness. Silence. Peace. Only the waves, in and out, eternal, unchanging, perfect. You're sleeping deeply now, dreaming of water, dreaming of waves, dreaming of the ocean. Or maybe you are the ocean, are the waves, are the water. No separation anymore, no boundary, just unity, just peace, just sleep. The waves wash over you, through you. You are the waves, rising and falling, in and out, the rhythm of tides, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of life, the rhythm of sleep. Water everywhere, water everything, water always. You are water, resting, sleeping, peaceful, complete. The silence is total, broken only by waves, by the eternal rhythm, by the timeless song. Everything else has faded, disappeared, dissolved into water, into peace, into sleep. Deep, deeper, deepest. Down into sleep, down into dreams, down into the peaceful void where consciousness ends and rest begins. Water holds you, rocks you, soothes you. You're floating, always floating, in water, in sleep, in peace. Forever floating, forever sleeping, forever at peace. As you drift deeper into sleep now, completely relaxed, totally at peace, remember this peaceful journey can return whenever you need it. These waters, this ocean, this beach, all exist within you, always, constantly, eternally. You can return here any night, any time you need rest, any moment you seek peace. The ocean is always waiting for you, always ready to hold you, always prepared to carry you into sleep. Water doesn't judge, doesn't demand, doesn't expect. It simply supports, simply holds, simply offers itself freely to all who seek it. And you can seek it, in reality or in dreams, swimming in oceans or remembering them, floating in water or imagining it, listening to waves or hearing them in memory. All of it heals, all of it soothes, all of it brings you home to peace. If this soothing story helped you relax tonight, if it guided you towards sleep, if it brought you peace, please subscribe and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new calming sleep story every week. More journeys like this, more peaceful explorations, more gentle guides to sleep, waiting for you, helping you, bringing you rest. Sweet dreams, rest deeply, sleep now, peacefully, completely. The ocean breathes with you. The waves rock you. The water holds you. The tides embrace you. The sea cradles you in its ancient arms. You're safe, you're loved, you're home, you're at peace. Sleep. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. Sleep now, completely, totally, absolutely. The silence wraps around you gently. Everything feels perfectly still. You're dissolving into water, merging with the ocean, becoming one with sleep, one with peace, one with the eternal rest of the sea. Sleep. Sleep. Sleep.